the most interesting guest. He's not a dancer, but he is an artist, and he's been an entrepreneur ever since we were kids. So actually, I'm just going to find out all of this right now with you.
Growing up, I've always wanted to be an artist. Yes, I have Asian parents that would not want me to be an artist, but I think we all know that, right? But anyways, I've always wanted to be an artist. I've always felt like drawing and was something that I love to do, and I wish that one day that I would be able to do that professionally, and I had no idea that going down that path would lead me to where I am today, which, I guess we'll talk about in a bit, but yeah.
Yes, so keep in mind, our parents told us, go to school, get a job. No, go to school, graduate, get a degree, get a job. And
not any job.
Be a doctor.
Accounting. Lawyer.
Yes.
Something very respectable. Yeah.
Exactly.
So really what I want to discuss in this Boba Talk and with Anna, and one of the things that I love and to do is to inspire others to take an action towards taking a huge chunk out of their dream or accomplishing it altogether. So it's what I love to do. And so before you get bored, one of the reasons why I'm here is because we've definitely accomplished a lot of things based on passion projects that we've done. We've made them and we've launched them and we've been very successful. And I believe that anybody can do what I've done. First off was wanting to be a comic book artist. That's crazy, right? I mean, that's not what you normally do. Even my own art teacher told me that I shouldn't do this.
Wow, really?
Yeah, no, it was weird. It was weird that my art teacher would tell me not to do art professionally.
Wow.
I didn't understand that, but I remember that. And he thought comics were a joke. Got into, at 16, 17 years old, I ended up doing something I was afraid to do, which is I applied to work at a company and I got accepted, which was called In Color out of Sereno Valley. And I remember that moment because that moment changed my life. I almost said no, I didn't want to do it, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I had the courage to take that because that turned everything to what it is today. So then from there I actually started working as a colorist in the comic book industry. I'm like, here I am, now I'm making money in the comic book industry. This is pretty cool. Not a lot of money, but still I was working professionally, doing stuff for all these different comic book companies that you know today. So then I ended up meeting my first studio partner there. I ended up having my first studio at the age of, I think, 16.
Honestly, just listen to how he thinks, okay? Whatever reasoning, whatever comes up, like, that's what you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So your favorite art teacher says, no, Dennis, this is a waste of time.
He wasn't my favorite.
But
It's
your
my art teacher. Yeah.
But says, no, this is a waste of time, and you still went, pursued it, got a job, rented an office at 16?
Struggling artist, starving.
Why?
Because it's what you love to do. Period. End of story. And it's like a lot of people. So this is what I fight for. Okay, this is my champion for all of you that are still listening. Because I'm always a champion for people doing what they are passionate and they love to do. Now, a couple things I want to say is yes, doing what you love to do is very few people can be honest and say that they are doing that. But that doesn't mean it's not worth doing, not worth pursuing. I mean, we have one life to live. I'm not 20 anymore, and I'm telling you, at this age now, sitting here, and knowing a lot of your viewers are younger, it's the time to go. I mean, don't.
It is.
So I'm your champ. I'm gonna tell you what we've done since then, and fast forward, made millions of dollars. We've launched so many different businesses, and all these things. I'm gonna tell you how I did that by not giving up on my dream, and that's a story that I like to tell people and inspire people to do it. So I was a street racer.
What?
way before Fast and the Furious, before it was ever cool. And so I started street racing here in San Diego. I don't advocate street racing now, but I can't say I didn't do it because I did. But it did lead me to where I am today. And so I took my passion for street racing and my passion for art and comics, and I ended up creating a business around that. So at the time, I was also working for a really big t-shirt company, and I was using my skills as an artist to make designs, and that was for Olea's Design and Marketing. And those guys are the guys who did a lot of the shirts for Miller's Outpost back in the day. But I was one of the original designers there, and I thought, if I could do it for them, maybe I could do it for me, with my own passion, and my passion again was street racing. So, so I ended up doing car t-shirts with a partner. then I created a brand, created a concept, worked with him, called Zoom.
Nice.
And then put 2 years of hard sweat work into that, never got paid anything until we finally started, until the brand actually launched at Miller's Outpost, and we started to make some money, and then basically he kicked me out of the company. That was my perspective, that's how it was, and I was no longer invited to the game.
Wow.
And so that was crushing to me.
Yes.
Don't worry, we made amends, and you know, everyone has a perspective, so I'm not blaming anybody, but
sure.
It hurt a lot to get you know, at the time I was like, I got screwed.
Yeah.
And everyone else thinks I still got screwed, but I'm okay with how it all turned out, because it all turned out the way it needed to. So I ended up launching my own company. So
Steve Jobs.
Which is great, because if that hasn't happened, I wouldn't have launched my own, and I wouldn't have learned the lessons that I need to learn on my own, and I learned a lot of lessons. So from there, I ended up starting up with a company called AUTOCANNON.
Nice.
And this is just a little catalog from back in the day. We ended up I was selling T-shirts out of the back of my van. I swear to God, it was a Volkswagen van, not even my van, it was my dad's van. And we ended up doing like T-shirts and apparel to represent our love for my culture.
Yeah.
And then I did that for we did that for almost a decade. I also started a comic book property and helped create a magazine called Importuner. It's called MAXBOOS. So my passion for comics and cars ended up as a comic strip inside every issue of Importuner.
So now I have a question. I feel a lot of artists also have all these ideas that they want to expand on and opportunities, and I feel like you are really good at making it come true. So what happened there? Do you think it was external, or was it you doing all the work, or a combo, or what?
So when you talk about like what does it take to take an idea, and why are we good at getting it actually done versus thinking about it? The answer is pretty simple. Is because we go and get it done and stop thinking about it.
Damn!
I know it's too basic. So here I have it in 3 things. For anybody that ever wants to be entrepreneurial, launch their dream, do their own thing, whatever your hustle. There's 3 things there's only 3 things I tell people they need to know. Number 1, you have to have the courage to start. And you have to start. If you don't start, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just stop fooling yourself if you don't start. So that's the first thing. That's usually one of the biggest things people have to overcome. And then it's not over. Second thing, never quit until you get what you want. Like, until it happens. Don't quit. You do those 2 things, you're good. And that's all you have to do. Then there's a third thing I throw in there. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You gotta be straight up real about this. You don't have forever, you don't know how long you're gonna be. If there's something that keeps you up at night that you love, you're passionate about, and you wanna do, whether you wanna be a dancer, whether you wanna own buildings, whether you got whatever it is, you're gonna die. And so pick what you wanna do and you go for it. Don't worry about what everybody else says. You gotta go and pursue your passions, because what is it? Proof is proof. Proof is proof. So when you do actually succeed, then people are like, oh, now I get it. You know, oh, now I see what they were talking about. You know, and if we want to talk about I don't know if we want to go down this angle a little bit, but I do want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I see that young people, and my heart is with definitely young people, because you got a shot, you got to take it now. Do not wait. You know, so is some of the things and the reasons why people quit too, or don't start. They don't do the first part, is because of what other people will think of them.
Okay, amen. Especially nowadays, social media. Yeah.
And you know, it's like, what are people going to think? Just I even think I want to be, you know, the world's biggest, you know, one successful dancer or rapper, or I want to have my own studio, or I want to have my own hair salon. What are people going to think? That's like the first thing. So a lot of people stop there as soon as they get some negative, you know, feedback, or mom says, "What are you talking about? Go back to your homework," or something, you know. And I want to say something. Anytime anybody ever says anything about you, you have to validate the source. What does that mean?
Yeah. What does that
mean? You got to check who they are. You'd never, ever, ever, ever tell somebody that, or you can tell them, but you don't. You got to take it with a grain of salt. If you tell them your dream, you can't tell a non-dreamer dreams.
Yes.
They're non-dreamers.
Yes.
they don't believe in themselves enough to dream, they're not going to definitely believe in yours. So if I told that to a non-dreamer and they don't get it, they don't see my vision, they don't see that, whatever, you can't take that and go, oh my God, the non-dreamer told me I shouldn't be dreaming, so I'm going to go walk away and just like bury myself. No. So you got to validate the source. So I tell people like this, I say, you're going to be surrounded, and generally you're surrounded by 10 people to 1 that actually believe, that will not believe you're going to be able to do it. Yeah.
I've not heard that. Okay.
Yeah, easily. Go around, if people were honest, and you walked around and you said, before Body Rock, and you walked around and said, I'm gonna do this amazing, and you're so humble, you're probably not gonna you can take this, but I'm just saying, I'm gonna do this amazing, production where, how many thousands of people are gonna come out, I'm gonna be known worldwide, I'm gonna do all way before Body Rock. How many people you honestly are like, oh yeah, you're definitely gonna do, not even 10, right? No. They think you're crazy,
Yes.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you gotta validate the source. So for us at AUTOCANNON, ended up growing the company to $10 million, and then it imploded. So just letting you know, I also have failures. So business went south during the financial crisis. People weren't paying us, and all of that, and I shut everything down. I got really depressed, and I got to a point where I swear to God, after making all that money, that I didn't believe I could even get a busboy job. It was really weird. Wow. Like my confidence got super shot. So there's not all of this is like great, Yeah. I'm not trying to act like everything went perfect for me, because it doesn't. Every entrepreneur has, their ups and downs. I had a passion for running, cycling, swimming. I've been doing that for years, and I ended up trying to figure out a better way to change clothes in public, and so I invented this thing. It's a dress that it's called The Undress, and you can look it at theundress.com, check it out, but it allows, like Anna can use this dress to change out of her clothes into the dress in like 30 seconds without ever getting naked in front of me.
And I need that.
Anyways, long story short, The Undress became Kickstarter's #1 women's fashion project, and we ended up selling $615,000 worth of dresses in 39 days.
Crazy.
In the first 39 days. So that changed our lives forever after that. Any product you produce, any service you provide, really boils down to one simple thing: serving.
Yes.
It's service.
Yes.
If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be passionate about serving people. And what that means is that my product, even my comic book, serves people. They read it to escape, they read it to be entertained, they read it to be, have joy, whatever it is, we're serving them. The dress, I thought it would only be used by active young women or whatever, but guess what? Another group of people that benefit from this are handicapped.
Oh, wow.
Or physically have a hard time. So when we think, I'll just do the towel change, that's easy. Or I'll just walk over to this, this porta potty or whatever, like a mile away. Yeah. It's not that easy for everyone. So this has literally been called a lifesaver for many. One of the things I always say is, if you're broke and you're wishing you had make more money on an energetic level, this is not science, this is nothing like that. On the energetic level, you're broken. Think about I've been there, how tight you get, how stingy we get, and how we don't want to help anyone because we're so afraid and we're so, we have a non-abundant thinking process, a very scarce thinking process, we're scarce.
Right.
We don't want to help and whatever. One of the things I do, the more broke I get, I give money away.
Wow.
Yeah. The more broke you are, the more money you need to give away. And that's not law, I'm just telling you right now. Be more giving. If you think you have not enough time, give time. Volunteer. Do that. I'm serious. There's an energetic thing that, that happens when you give and you realize there is way more abundance than you think there is. And so if you don't think abundantly, you can't receive. And now you're making me think deep. You're making me go boba deep. And I know a lot of people out there are struggling, not knowing what they want. But this is usually what I say. And I say, you actually do know. You're just afraid to admit it. and there's a lot of stuff going on in your head that keeps you from seeing it. It could be your parents' voices, it could be your uncle's voices, it could be, you know, what you don't believe in yourself, but it's there. So the other things that are also done at a very young age, and I'm very, very thankful for, are personal development classes. So there's personal development type classes that are life success courses, and what they focus on is thinking and how we think, and how thinking is limiting. Your self-thought thinking is either limiting you or helping you get to where you want to go. And if you want to take the time on a 1 weekend course, you could potentially see how the brain works, how you work, how you think about stuff, so you can see where you're either how and why you're successful, or how and why you're sabotaging yourself. And it's pretty amazing when you start to see how that game in our heads are played, and in particular when you're trying to do something you've never done before. You know, it gets really, you know, all the fears pop up, self-defense mechanisms in your body, ways that keep you from getting to where you want to go without you even knowing it. So a lot of blind spots and stuff like that. So there's seminar courses that we've taken, and I'm still in them over 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in junior high, I was like all over the place. Like I was pretty depressed, blah, 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 blah. Dennis wrote me a poem. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, man.
He wrote me a poem. He was like, "Please don't die. I like you."
Oh my God.
Yeah, you remember?
Sorry, I'm in the middle of like
reminiscing.
Massive flashback. You remember that part in Ratatouille? He goes back in time, like, whoa, that's me right now.
Yeah.
We were buds, man. We were like tight. And Anna's one of those that, you know, she helped family. Like, just absolutely, I knew that, we just had definitely had this growing up.
I'm so glad that, you know, he hit me up and he was like, "Come on, man, let's do this." And I was like, "Okay, I'm down." And I mean, dude, look at this. I mean, we're in his office, you know, he's told me now, he's caught me up about what he's doing.
Yeah.
And yes, man, it means so much to hear, like, everything you said. And usually, like, I mean, it's always cool to hear people's success stories, but I feel the depth and, like, the grind and the spirit beneath everything that's happened to you. If you want him back, leave a comment, you know, let me know how this dude helped you out. If anything he talked about was inspirational to you, drop a comment. And where can they reach you, Dennis? Do you have a website? Or
DennisCaco.com, and you could probably put that.
I'll put the linky thing there. Again, Boba with friends. It's Boba well spent.
And
Love it.